What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shred Show Live. I've got one of my favorite people in the entire industry hanging out with me. You know him, you love him. He's truly one of not only the top leaders in the industry, but he's been one of the most recognized people in the industry from all kinds of prestigious awards. But you may know him as he's an actual originator like all of us. Plus, he's a coach. He's the author of Just the Tips. I love the name of the book, by the way, Adam. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Smith is hanging out with us, and we're going to be talking about a subject that, of course, is very close to home for both of us. We're talking about how coaching is not created equal. You're going to want to tune in. You're going to want to share this with all of your friends and your entire company, because if you're thinking about getting a coach, you have to tune in. You have to be listening. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. Really can't tell everybody how excited I am to be hanging out with Adam this morning, because again, not only is he a friend, but he's been a mentor of mine. He's been somebody I've looked up to for years. And again, every time we get together, the conversation is pure, like it's real, it's authentic. It's all those words that, those hype words right now, but he's truly one of those people who is the most recognized from being the top 40 under 40 for years. He has been one of the most recognized, as most connected for years. But again, he's an author, he's an originator, he's a coach himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Smith.
What's up, man? It's funny that you said that shit, because we do have pretty raw conversations when we're talking. Remember doing this live, not the show, but you and I talking live in Arizona back in October.
Yes.
And you had caught somebody on video talking about doubling down. And this is somebody who isn't boots on the ground with mortgages. This isn't somebody that's coaching originators, that kind of shit. And what literally came out of his mouth was, if you're calling 20 agents a day, now's the time to call 40. And you could smell my eyes roll. I mean, it was that bad. Like, no, if you're calling 20 real estate agents in order to generate leads, and those 20 real estate agents aren't doing any business, don't double down on that shit. There is no reason for you to call 40 agents that aren't doing any business. Where does that shit stop? 80? 160? How much time are you going to dump into things that aren't going to work when you want to be doing more mortgage business?
Oh, dude. And it's funny, because I think that's almost what even stemmed this conversation. You and I had a conversation just a couple of weeks ago, and we're just like, you know what? Let's dive into this, because there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to talk about. And here's the thing. Let's just call it as it is. Both you and I are coaches to an extent within the industry with Shred U. You have Just the Tips. So we'll be talking about that. But that whole thing that even happened in Arizona, and when you and I saw each other last, it seems like it's getting worse, Adam. And we want to be we want to be respectful for the most part. There are some incredible coaches, great people within our industry.
Tons.
But with that being said, there, of course, in anything, there are always those players that kind of, that we all roll our eyes, or we all we just know that it's not coming from the right place. I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but Adam, it's just, I don't know. Coaching has just changed recently within our industry.
I think that's true. Well, God, has it changed, or have you and I just become more enlightened to some of the BS that's out there?
Bro, maybe that's it. Maybe that's just what it is.
It may just be that you and I are looking at it with clearer eyes. Because I can remember a couple of years ago, I spoke at Originator Connect in Vegas.
Yep.
You were probably there. And there was another coach that spoke right before me. And I think the guy was about 100 years old at the time. And he rambled on for 45 minutes. And the only thing he really said, and I wouldn't even call it something of value, but something that was pointed, was at the end of his presentation, he said, well, just text all your realtors on Friday and tell them you're available this weekend.
Oh, man.
And this audience had fallen asleep. This is a very difficult act to follow. And I kid you not, when this guy came off stage and I went up, he took my seat at a table of other speakers in the back of the room and turned off his hearing aids and fell asleep.
Wow.
Right. And of course, I got on stage and very tongue-in-cheek, I said, yeah, that is a really good idea. On Friday, you should text all your agents but the message should be, leave me alone. It's the weekend.
Legit.
Right?
Yep.
And a lot of that was joking, but one of the things that we talk about heavily at Just the Tips is team structure. I've got a team of people, and none of us is ever all that far away from a computer. So if somebody needs a pre-approval letter, then yeah, ping us. Someone will get it out to you. But otherwise, yeah, this isn't, what goes on in current mortgage coaching is a little frustrating. I know it is for you too.
It is very frustrating. And I love that you talk about, you and I, we have evolved for how long we've been in the industry, the conversations we've been part of, the events. You and I have a very, very good thumb on what's happening, especially in coaching at different events, what's being said, how loan officers are being trained, if you will, or how they're being taught to go out and to build their business, the new age of loan officers, the old seasoned guard, if you will, of the industry. And I think it is. You and I just understand, both coming from an originator background, what it actually takes to be successful as not only originators, but as coaches as well. At Just the Tips, this is what's really cool is you and I, when we were talking, we have such different focuses too. I'm all about social media, building a brand. And like you said, you really break down the team aspect of when are you ready to start bringing on a team? And for those who maybe don't know what you do focus on, maybe kind of give people a little bit of background. Like I don't want you to feel like you're pitching this at all, but I want everybody to know Adam truly is one of the most successful, especially in my eyes, as I've seen it. He's one of those who's built an incredible team. And if you're there, if you're ready for that, some of you may not be, but if you are, you need to turn to somebody who's actually done it before, Adam.
Yeah, I think that that's true. And I'm going to back it up a little further than that because I think it is important to rope in what these new loan originators are thinking about, looking at, because a lot of the fallacies, a lot of the BS as far as what we're talking about when it takes to generate leads, generate business, become a successful loan originator is not only antiquated, it's something that people have been kind of instructed to do for decades, but it didn't work then and it doesn't work now.
Sure.
Well, at least it shouldn't the way that it does. And when I first started originating loans, and I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was because it was a long ass time. But I was told that in order to have a successful mortgage practice, you had to get referrals from real estate agents. And there is some truth to that. But when we talk about referral partner relationships and we do it Just the Tips, relationship is the key word there.
Yep.
Not just randomly calling real estate agents. And I saw somebody in the new loan officer Facebook group actually ask, hey, how do I get lists of real estate agents to cold call? And I think my reply was, yeah, that's a good idea. They love that crap.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's what I was told. It's what I was led to believe. I still think it's what new LOs are led to believe. And one of the ways that we were told to do that, and again, this, 15, 20, 25 years ago, is you got to teach classes to real estate agents.
Oh.
In Colorado, we have title companies. They host those classes. They try to lure people in to take those classes, so on and so forth. So I thought, well, I'm going to go see what people are teaching to real estate agents and how this puzzle piece happens to fit into the bigger picture. How do I have those relationships? How am I doing when it comes to getting referrals from real estate agents? So I go to a couple of these classes. The first one was how to read an appraisal.
Oh, gall.
Real estate agents do not care how to read an appraisal. That's ridiculous. And the second one I went to was like the newest VA guidelines.
Oh, my goodness.
Like here, again, this is not their job. It's your job. Their job is complicated enough. Don't do that. And then, of course, one of the big cycles in all of this is that you do it at their normal sales cycle meetings, or you do it at the normal lunchtime meetings, those kinds of things. And we've obviously become very big fans of don't feed the animals.
Yep.
Do not give out lunch when you're teaching classes, because now we're into my lunch. I'm going to check out what's in my box lunch. I'm not going to pay attention to whoever's speaking. Do not do this at their normal sales meetings, because they're just in this psychological rut, a subconscious psychological rut, where they're not really paying attention to what's going on in front of them anyway. No. So try to break those patterns for sure. But after I culminated all of this information, I was like, what do real estate agents really want to know?
You bet.
How to get more buyers than sellers.
That's it.
How to generate leads. That
Period.
was the bottom line. And of course, I thought that if I was teaching them how to do that, I might see some of those leads. Win-win. And then that spawned into a greater amount of content. Bear in mind, when I started teaching that, it was zero cost marketing for a repeat and referral business. That's what the title of the coursework was.
Awesome.
It was before social media. It was before we were doing video, those kinds of things. So it was basically contact management, contact database, and we still start there at Just the Tips.
Sure.
Then we do talk about social media, and we look at your profiles. And frankly, most of you have embarrassing social media shit. Your Facebook page is gross. Your YouTube channel's a joke. You don't even use the same goddamn picture across all of your profiles. So how do you possibly expect to do any branding that way? All right. And here's where Josh's expertise comes in, because his shit about branding is far superior. Then we talk about video and how that integrates and how do we do short form. And actually, this is an interesting one because you know our marketing director, Jen.
I do.
And Jen did a social media class this week, just for a little tidbit. TikTok was a bigger search engine last year than Google.
Really?
I
didn't know that, actually.
Oh, yeah. Google is revamping how SEO is done in their profile, in their platform, like you would not believe, because more people searched for how-tos on TikTok, or TikTok made me buy it, or whatever the case may be, then they searched on Google. All right.
Whoa.
So we talk about short format video. We talk about production video. We talk about milestone videos. So we talk about videos for the clients you want, videos for the clients you have, those kinds of things. We do certainly work on some other tech and apps. We work on team structure. We work on writing. Here's something that nobody else is doing. Write your bio. Be a source for other contributors to trade organization magazines. Be a contributor for trade organization magazines. If you're not published in Realtor Magazine or National Mortgage Professional, whatever the publication happens to be, you're selling yourself short. That kind of credibility goes forever. And then, you want to write a book? We'll help you with that shit too. And then, team structure. When is it time to hire an assistant? When is it time to make that person full-time? When is it time to then hire another LO, another LOA, another LO? We've got to build ops and sales simultaneously.
Yeah.
So we run through an awful lot of that. So we've got a pretty robust platform, a pretty robust package. But let's talk about one of these big differences, because that's what you and I are here for.
Yes.
We have a set amount of content. Typically, we're supposed to get through it a year. If we meet with our clients an hour a week, every week, fairly religiously, we're going to get through it in a year, and then we're fucking done. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to drop that bombs on the Tread Show, but that's it. Great. You know now what I know, what I've culminated over my decades-long mortgage career. You still want to be coached? Go find another coach. Yes. Remember, the team that took you from doing 10 deals a month to 50 is not the same team that's going to take you from 50 to 100, me included.
100%.
Josh included.
Yep.
The problem I have with a lot of what's going on in mortgage coaching today is that they'll just keep you on the hook.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll talk to you for an hour a week for as long as you are willing to pay me.
You
do. And don't get me wrong. My coaching clients are all good friends, especially after an hour a week for a year or more. Some of them take a little longer. I'm not going to call anybody out that are slow to catch all the content. It's okay. I don't mind. But we're going to be good friends. I'm happy to sit and talk with you about what you want to do in your business, but we're done. Stop paying me. I'm going to stop giving you the content because I don't have any more.
Right.
And we're going to put you back in the boat and push you back out into the water.
Go get it.
Go find another coach. So I know that's one of the things you and I have talked about for years that drives us nuts in coaching is that, I'll get you on the phone and talk about my new car for an hour and you can pay me for my time.
Dude, this is truly one of the, for lack of a better term, is plaguing our industry. So many of you, and we love you. And if you have a coach that is there, and
you should,
and again, you should. That's what I'm saying is like you should, but like if you were just paying them month after month after month, and what value are you really need to take a step back, especially if you've been part of a coaching program for longer than a year, like you're saying, Adam. You really should take a step back and say, what am I getting? How is this continuing to help me grow? Because maybe it is. Maybe there is a program. Maybe they have, maybe they've expanded. Great. Then we're not saying there's coaching programs that haven't, but for the most part, you have probably exceeded like, okay, great. Now I've learned this. I'm going to go execute on it. And you should be executing with any good coach or mentor should be helping you execute along the way. If you haven't seen your business grow, then you definitely should be taking a look at this. But I'm the same way. When I came out with Shred You, because of this exact same idea, I was so sick of the same old coaching program saying, oh, we're going to charge you X amount every single month. And some people just forget it's charging them whatever amount of it. They're just, coaches are just hoping that they're like, oh, they're going to forget about that charge every single month. And it's just going to keep recurring. We came up and we said, nope, you're going to pay us once and you're done for a lifetime. You're going to have access to our program. And again, with social media, especially because I can only teach you so much. Yes, trends are changing. TikToks, new mediums are coming out. New platforms are coming out. So that is evolving. But for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, like, find somebody who can help you get to a certain point, have a goal in mind with that. And then once you've got it, find somebody else. That's why, like, I struggle with coaches because it's funny enough. I'm going to reference John Hill right now. John Hill, if you guys don't know John Hill, good friend of mine. We literally were just talking before this call, and him and I were even talking about mentors. I mentioned Adam as one of my mentors. There's a lot of people that I've been mentored in the industry. Kevin Pranio, John Hill, Matt Ishbia. There's some great people that have been great mentors to me that I've learned from. They're not necessarily coaches. So why I even bring this up is take a look at who is actually helping you get to your next stage in life. Adam, I love that you mentioned that, because where you're at now, if you're doing 10 to 20 loans a month, they're probably not the same organization that's going to help you get to the next 30 to 50 or 50 to 100, whatever it is. Take a look at that. And especially at the coaching organization you're in now. It's just crazy to me, Adam.
I think that's very true. And it was funny because we had a fairly recent coaching client. We're still working on content with him. For one reason or another, I can't explain it. A lot of our coaching clients, both loan originators and real estate agents alike, change companies while we're doing this, while we're in the middle of the content. So we derail it a bit. Let's help them get through that. Let's help them get the branding set. Let's help them get all their social media stuff redone, reset, so on and so forth. But one of them, it's like, we've got to get moving on this content because, you know, my manager, my employing broker, whatever it is getting frustrated that I keep paying. I'm like, no, you're done paying. You paid us. We're done. We still got to get through the content, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, you're done. And he was like, oh, wow, that's it. I'm like, yeah, we're not in that space. I don't want to just stall and delay and have you keep paying because I have other people I want to help.
Yeah.
I got to get you through this content and put you back in the boat so I can fit somebody else in the boat.
Exactly. But that's the mentality that, Adam, that makes you so different. And guys like us, and there are others, they want to help you get to that point, and then they want to help you to find the next avenue. Like, that's when you know you've got a really good coach or mentor, when they can say, I've helped you as much as I can to this point. Now you got to find somebody to take you to that next stage. Yeah. And like, go ahead.
Don't hesitate to call Josh when you're done at that point. You've got some ideas that you're brimming around. Kick them around with us. Is this a good idea? Well, here's the downside. Here's the upside. We're not disappearing. We're just not keeping that hook set.
I said, you don't need to pay us. Like, and again, I will tell you this, be respectful of your coaches and your mentors. There's still, to this day, there are still people that I paid in a coaching program that I still reach out to. That's when you know you had a really good coach or a mentors, because if you can still reach out to them and they'll take your phone call. And again, I'm not spending hours a week or even hours a month with these people. I may be taking 30 minutes and just saying, hey, I want to bounce some ideas off you. When they take your call and say, absolutely, I would love to help you. I'd love to help you walk through that. That is when you found somebody that has truly been an incredible resource and an incredible mentor and coach to you. So be looking at those people, because I think they're few and far between right now, Adam.
I think so too. But I think what you're talking about, and don't get me wrong, we obviously intertwine all of this kind of thing with sales psychology.
Of course.
How do all of the things that we're doing actually intertwine with the consumer for the most part, right? Right from the beginning, we talk about the fact that you and I, pretty much everybody else that's still in the workforce, has been somebody's target audience since birth.
100%.
And we're tired of it. How do we change that? What are all of these things that we're going to do and put together over the next year going to shift into helping with that kind of thing? But I think you hit the nail on the head, and really the term that keeps coming back is relationship.
Dude, 100%.
There isn't anybody in the history of my coaching stuff that isn't clamoring when we do our annual Mile High Mastermind every fall here in Denver.
Yep.
You've spoken at well, it was virtual.
Yep.
It was COVID. It was fall of 2020. But you've spoken at this event, and these people will drop everything and go, "Yeah, we're coming to Denver." And this is that relationship piece.
Yep.
We're not paying anybody. We're not giving each other money. We are just figuring out how to make each other better, right? It's old Zig Ziglar kind of shit.
Literally.
Help as many people as you can get what they want, and you're going to get what you want.
Dude, this mentality, that Zig Ziglar mentality truly is. And I think especially in this upcoming year, Adam, it's doom and gloom. People are worried, recession, this and that. But that mentality that you just talked about is going to help the best get even better. The strong. I mean, this collab, the fact that you and I are two, like, people would see us as opposing forces, opposing coaches, and this and that. I'm like, no, like, number one, I refer to Adam. There are things that he does, as he's mentioned, that I do not. I specifically focus on brand. I specifically focus on social media content. Adam does so much more. And that's why it's so great to collaborate. It's so great. This conversation is going to turn into a plethora of content that we can go and share to our community, that we can share with all of you to help you better. That's what we want to see. That's why we do what we do. We want to see you get better. We want to see you improve. And now more than ever, it is that small percentage of those who are willing, who are good, that want to get better and the absolute best. If you have that mentality, if you're surrounding yourself with the right people, I love the event that you guys put on, because that's what it is. I can think of the people there. Every time I've been to that event, I look around the room, and they're not there to puff up their chest and say, look at me, look at me. They're there to share. They're there to get better themselves, and they're there to give back to a community that's helped them achieve so much already.
Iron sharpens iron.
Dude,
and that's how that conversation in Arizona that we had in October started, because you cornered me, said, hey, we're going to do a quick video, a quick live. Okay. Here with Adam Smith. He is just the tips. He's all about the tips. Adam, give us some tips. I said, well, we're at a conference, so here's a couple. Before you decide where to spend your time and money doing the mortgage conference circuit, look at the content. That's a big piece. And then look at the other attendees, because these are the people you're going to be spending the off hours with. Does iron sharpen iron? Make sure you're hanging out with the iron. So that's a really good point, though, that you make, because our annual conference is very, very different than most of the ones you and I go to.
Way different.
It's not a speaker and an audience.
Nope.
It really is a mastermind kind of thing. It's a much smaller group. It's, 100, not 1,000, that kind of thing. And one of the things that you and I had talked about some time ago that is still bothering me with these big conferences is the fucking motivational speakers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always people that aren't even in the business, don't know anything about mortgages, don't know anything about real estate, so on and so forth. They're good people. They're nice people. They're smart people. But the majority of the people that are taking the time to really be intentional about what conference work they're doing don't need motivational speakers. If you're in mortgages and you're successful enough that you want to be attending these kinds of events to get better content, to get sharper, to become better at what you do, you are already self-motivating. Dude. You don't need a motivational speaker. You've seen them all. From from Zig Ziglar to the Tony to all of them. You've seen all of these motivational speakers. You've taken the bits and pieces of that content that help you. You've internalized it, and you self-motivate.
Yep.
Otherwise, you wouldn't even be there.
No.
So this whole speaker to audience, the whole motivational speaker to audience thing just drives me up a wall. So when it comes to coaching, when it comes to conference work, it's really not all that hard to do things a little differently, to do things that are for the benefit of the attendee, for the benefit of the coaching client, for the benefit of the mentee, rather than all of these people that are doing it for the benefit of their pocketbook. Right?
Wow.
Help as many people as you can get what they want, and you will get what you want. That shit is timeless.
Dude, you're 100. Everything we have talked about this day on this show this morning, ladies and gentlemen, was just wrapped up into that. Like what Adam just said, help people. That's what we're about. And if you're not, you're coming at this from a totally different.
All of it. Coaching, originating, real estate, whatever it is you're into.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is everything. Everything is summed up in that one, what you just said there, Adam, because that literally is. It doesn't matter what you do, mortgage, real estate, insurance, coaching, whatever it is. If you're helping people, you will ultimately get what you want. And pure, simple. I want to end on this thought, Adam, because this has been absolutely brilliant. Because one thing that you even mentioned this when we go to the Mile High event, when you come to those events in particular, it's who you're surrounding yourself with. And I will admit, if you've ever been to your event, it's not for everybody. But I want people to know this, because when it comes to finding a coach, when it comes to finding a mentor, find somebody that you connect with. Me and you are very raw. We're very like, people look at us and it's very like, it's just, you get it. It is what this shit is real.
There's no sugarcoating.
There is no, but when it comes to that, find somebody who is real with you. They're not willing to give the glitz and the glamour and the high, like always talking you up. We want you to see you succeed, but find somebody you connect with. Find somebody that you're like, dude, this is the person that I can see. I can see me hanging out, chilling out after hours and hanging out by the fire with Adam, having a drink, chilling. Those are the type of people, Adam, that should be the coach or mentor you look for this next year, right?
And we've done that.
Yeah. And that's what I mean is like you literally have created that organization. So this has been absolutely brilliant. You guys have to go check out Adam. If you guys have questions, go to justthetips.com.
The easiest thing by far, because it'll give you the website, the video blog, the weekly little tip, all the shit, is to use our text code. Text tips to 63566.
63566, text tips. We'll drop it in the link right down, or drop it in all the chat so you guys can text tips. Stay up to date. They do. Adam is the master of tips, giving the little things that you should be thinking about. Join their text group, and I promise you this next year, you're going to learn something. You're going to grow. As Adam had said, literally just be a good human being and serve others. Get out there and help others, and it's going to come to you. Adam, this has been incredible. I truly appreciate you for all that you do, for the leader, for the mentor that you have been to so many and will be in the future, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm happy to do it. Thanks, Josh.
Guys, this has been amazing. As always, we appreciate all of you showing up here today, being present. And again, take this stuff, go back and listen to this. What Adam has said is so insightful, and I promise it's going to help you. You just have to be willing to take the next step, to get outside of yourself and make it happen. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for all of you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.